Hey everyone, big news on the horizon about Luka Doncic's future with the Lakers. Word is the long-awaited contract extension is finally happening, and it's expected to go down next weekend either on the 2nd or 3rd of August. Luka is set to fly over to the United States to officially sign the deal, before heading back to Slovenia by the 4th just in time for their initial training sessions. Preparing for Eurobasket, this info came straight from the Slovenian head coach who, let's just say, didn't exactly keep it under wraps. According to him, Luka is about to lock in a 4-year contract worth $229 million with the Lakers, making it official before he rejoins the Slovenian national team. The coach also mentioned Luka might arrive back in the U.S. after August 4th once he wraps up his commitments in Slovenia. Now, what makes this extension so intriguing isn't just the sheer size of the contract, which breaks down to around $57 million a year, the max Luka can get under the current rules, but also the timing and structure. Remember, Luka missed out on the Supermax deal he could have had if he stayed put with Dallas since he was traded. So this new contract is a fresh chance to secure his financial future, but also to solidify his place as the franchise cornerstone in Los Angeles. There were some whispers that Luka might delay signing, possibly waiting until he finishes his Eurobasket run with Slovenia before committing. But it looks like he's opting to lock things in early. That's a smart move, securing the bag before any potential hiccups can happen. Plus, it clears the air for the Lakers to make moves around him. With this deal, the Lakers have a clearer path forward and more flexibility than before. What's particularly fascinating is the length of the deal. Initially, the expectation was for Luka to sign a 3-year contract, which would have included a player option in the 3rd year. That option would have allowed him to opt out and chase a bigger payday later on. Now this new rumor suggests for full years. That's a significant difference. It hints at Luka possibly giving the Lakers a bit of a discount for the security of a longer commitment. Of course, we're waiting for the fine print, so take these reports with a grain of salt until the ink is dry. Still, the mere fact that Luka is recruiting players for the Lakers signals he's all in on the team's future. You don't recruit stars if you're planning to leave anytime soon. If this 4-year $129 million deal is accurate, it's huge for the Lakers in terms of planning and roster construction. It gives them breathing room to recalibrate once LeBron eventually steps away. Because the timeline shifts. The previous thought was that Luka would sign for 3 years with a player option in year 3, then sign a new contract after reaching 10 years in the league to recoup some of the money he lost after the Dallas trade. If this new deal covers 4 years, that extra year or 2 before opting out means the Lakers hold on to Luka for longer on a manageable salary. That's a strategic win for the franchise. To put it another way, this contract could mean the Lakers have Luka locked in for at least 5 seasons, including this year, and potentially 6. If the player option comes into play, that extra time gives the team stability as they transition away from LeBron. It also buys the front office time to figure out how to build a championship alive or supporting cast around Luka. Right now, the 2026 free agency pool doesn't offer many stars who would complement Luka perfectly. With Jaren Jackson Jr. already locked in elsewhere, the options are slim. Of course, there's always the chance of trades or unexpected moves like Giannis or Jokic requesting a trade down the line, but those are wildcards. The Lakers' challenge now is how they leverage this time and Luka's commitment. It's tempting for the team to become patient knowing they have him for longer, but they can't lose the urgency needed to build a true contender. Having a shorter contract deadline forces pressure to act quickly, but with this longer extension, the risk is falling into complacency. Luka wants to win championships, and he's putting trust in the organization to make that happen. The Lakers need to honor that by aggressively pursuing stars and building depth. LeBron's timeline also factors heavily into this equation. He's not expected to retire anytime soon, especially with his younger son possibly joining the league soon. Whether LeBron decides to play alongside his son or simply continue competing in Los Angeles while watching his son develop elsewhere remains to be seen. If the Lakers win a championship this season, I actually think LeBron might be more likely to stick around rather than leave. The motivation to chase a 6th ring and tie or surpass Michael Jordan's legacy is strong. If they don't win, then a LeBron departure becomes a more realistic possibility. This all ties back to Luka's contract. If he had signed a shorter deal, the Lakers would face a much tighter window to build a contender after LeBron leaves. Now, with this rumored 4-year extension, the Lakers gain precious breathing room to craft the roster and plan for a future where Luka is the undisputed leader. This also means the front office has to be smart about balancing patience with urgency. They can't wait too long to make moves. Another interesting angle is the financial side. Even though Luka's salary is huge at $57 million a year, if he had waited to sign a shorter contract with a player option, his next deal could skyrocket, potentially making it difficult for the Lakers to manage the cap space. By locking Luka in for years now, the team might be getting him at a slight discount for at least 1 or 2 years. That's an advantage they should capitalize on by improving the roster aggressively. Still, it's important to remain cautious until the contract is officially signed. Details like player options, no trade clauses, and performance bonuses could shape how this deal really plays out. Luka is a player who earns incentives for MVP awards, NBA selections, and playoff success. So the overall value of the contract could increase significantly if he performs at an elite level. That's another factor that makes this deal exciting. It's structured to reward Luka for excellence, which aligns with both his and the Lakers' goals. What we do know for sure is that the Lakers will have Luka locked in for at least the next few years, giving them the foundation to pursue multiple championships. The question now is whether the team can rise to the occasion and show Luka they're serious about winning. If they don't, Luka could opt out of the player option and explore other opportunities. But if they build a winner, this contract extension could mark the start of a dominant Lakers era, with Luka as the face of the franchise. As the situation unfolds over the coming week, fans and analysts alike will be watching closely to see the official details. But regardless of the exact terms, the message is clear: Luka Doncic is committed to the Lakers, and the Lakers are betting on him as their franchise cornerstone. Now the pressure is on for the team to deliver, because Luka isn't just signing for the money. He's signing because he believes in the championship potential here. The stage is set, the contract is almost done, and the next few years could define the future of the Lakers for a decade to come. Moving forward from the contract extension news, it's impossible to ignore the ripple effects this deal will have on the Lakers' entire approach to building their roster and team identity. In the coming years, Luka Doncic's commitment reshapes not only their financial planning, but also their strategic priorities, because the stakes are higher than ever. The Lakers are a storied franchise with a history of going all in when they believe they have a chance at a title, and now with Luka locked in for the next 4 years, that mindset has to be front and center. One of the biggest challenges facing the Lakers now is how to surround Luka with the right pieces to maximize his unique skill set. Luka is not your typical superstar. He's a magician on the court who controls the pace and flow of the game. He can score from anywhere, make pinpoint passes, and is as crafty as they come. But to truly contend for a championship, he needs a supporting cast that complements his style. Players who can space the floor, defend multiple positions, and step up in clutch moments. This extension gives the Lakers a clearer path to assembling that group without the pressure of an imminent contract expiration looming over Luka's head. The timing of Luka's signing also dovetails with the Lakers' internal decisions on how to manage their current assets and salary cap space. With LeBron James still on the roster, though entering the twilight of his career, the Lakers have a rare window where they can lean on both LeBron's experience and Luka's rising star power. This transition period is crucial. If managed well, it could result in a seamless handoff where Luka becomes the unquestioned leader, while still benefiting from LeBron's mentorship. The extension adds stability and allows the team to plan around both players without rushing or making desperate moves. That said, the extension also raises some questions about urgency and timing in the Lakers' front office. On one hand, having Luka locked in for 4 years means the team can avoid panic moves and focus on smart, calculated acquisitions. On the other hand, the risk of complacency looms large. When a franchise knows it has a star locked in for a longer period, the temptation can be to wait it out instead of striking aggressively in free agency or trade markets. The Lakers can't afford that, especially given the competitive landscape in the Western Conference. Teams like the Nuggets, Warriors, Suns, and Mavericks all have championship aspiration, and the Lakers need to keep pace. Speaking of free agency, the 2024 and 2025 classes will be critical for the Lakers. With Luka's deal signed, the Lakers can approach these windows with more confidence, but also more responsibility. They need to target players who fit Luka's style, shooters who can catch and shoot, versatile defenders, and reliable role players who bring energy and consistency. The team's success will depend heavily on how well these pieces integrate and elevate Luka's game without taking away from his strengths. The extension might help attract such players as they know Luka is here long term. making Los Angeles a more appealing destination. Another aspect to consider is Luka's own development, and how this deal might influence his approach to the game. Signing a big extension can sometimes create a sense of security that changes a player's mindset. But with Luka, that's unlikely. He's shown a relentless work ethic and competitive drive since entering the league. The contract is a validation of his talent, but also a challenge to live up to the enormous expectations. Luka's aim is not just to be a great player, he wants to be a champion. This deal fuels that ambition by providing a stable platform from which to push harder and reach new heights. One intriguing wrinkle to this entire situation is the potential impact on LeBron James's future decisions. LeBron has always been focused on winning, but he's also been a savvy businessman who understands timing and legacy. With Luka now signed long-term, LeBron might feel even more comfortable transitioning into a mentorship role or planning his exit, knowing the team's future is in good hands. Alternatively, if the Lakers fail to build a strong supporting cast, quickly LeBron could decide to pursue new opportunities where he believes championship contention is more viable. This makes the next couple of seasons critical, not just for Luka's development, but for keeping LeBron motivated and engaged. The Slovenian national team's schedule also plays a subtle but meaningful role in this timeline. Luka's commitment to join Slovenia for Eurobasket right after signing his contract shows his dedication to representing his country and maintaining that international connection. It's a balancing act, managing NBA responsibilities while also staying involved with national team duties. The Lakers will need to monitor Luka's workload closely to avoid burnout, especially given the grueling nature of NBA seasons and playoffs. This contract extension also signals that the Lakers are likely on board with supporting Luka's international ambitions, as long as it doesn't interfere with his NBA performance. Financially, the structure of Luka's deal could also set a precedent for other young superstars in the league. A 4-year $129 million contract is massive, but also reflects the current market dynamics, influenced by salary cap growth and the desire for security among elite players. If the deal includes performance bonuses and incentives, it aligns Luka's earnings with his success, encouraging continued excellence. This could influence future negotiations for players of similar caliber, shifting the balance between guaranteed money and incentive-laden deals. From a marketing and branding perspective, locking in Luka for the long term is a huge win for the Lakers. Luka is not just a basketball star, he's a global icon with a massive international following. Having him firmly tied to the Lakers boosts the franchise's global appeal and merchandise sales. It also provides a strong narrative for the Lakers' future, the passing of the torch from LeBron to Luka, which fans and media alike can rally round. This story helps maintain fan engagement and excitement, which is critical for the team's overall success both on and off the court. The extension also influences the Lakers' draft strategy moving forward. With Luka's long-term commitment, the team can afford to be more patient with developing young talent, focusing on players who fit the long-term vision rather than trying to win immediately at all costs. This patience can translate into better decision-making in drafts and trades, prioritizing high-character players who fit Luka's leadership style and the team's culture. The Lakers have a chance to rebuild their identity around Luka's unique strengths, rather than chasing quick fixes. As the details of the contract are still pending, there's also speculation about whether Luka's deal includes a no-trade clause or other protections. These elements could give Luka more control over his future, ensuring that he remains in Los Angeles unless he wants to move. Such clauses are becoming more common among superstars who want stability and say in their career paths. If Luka has one, it would send a strong message that he's committed to the Lakers for the foreseeable future, adding to the team's leverage in roster construction. The Lakers management will also have to be careful with how they balance cap space after Luka's contract kicks in fully. While $57 million a year is a big chunk of the cap, smart cap management and creative deals can help build a competitive supporting cast without hamstringing the team financially. This requires a clear vision and discipline, avoiding overpaying for role players or chasing risky signings that don't fit the team's core philosophy. Luka's extension is a foundation, but the surrounding pieces must be carefully chosen. Fan expectations will inevitably rise with this deal. Luka signing long-term signals a commitment to winning, and the fan base will expect results. The Lakers have a passionate and demanding fan base that expects championships. The pressure on the front office and coaching staff to deliver will increase significantly. Every offseason move, every trade rumor, and every draft pick will be scrutinized through the lens of building a local championship contender. The extension raises the stakes for everyone involved. Looking ahead, the Lakers must also consider Luka's health and durability. He's had some injury concerns in the past, and keeping him healthy over a 4-year contract is paramount. The team's medical and training staff will have to tailor conditioning and recovery plans to ensure Luka can perform at peak levels season after season. This is a critical component of maximizing the value of this massive contract. Lastly, the cultural impact of Luka's extension within the Lakers' locker room can't be overstated. Young players will look up to Luka as their leader, and his presence will shape the team's identity. His work ethic, professionalism, and approach to the game set a tone that can elevate everyone around him. Establishing Luka as the franchise face and leader helps create a cohesive environment where everyone knows their roles and is motivated to contribute to the team's success. In summary, Luka Doncic's rumored 4-year, $129 million extension is much more than just a contract. It represents a new chapter for the Lakers, one filled with promise, challenges, and enormous potential. This deal stabilizes the franchise's future, sets the stage for roster building, influences player development, and reshapes the entire organizational approach. The next few years will be crucial for the Lakers to capitalize on this commitment and build a championship contender around Luka's extraordinary talents. The basketball world will be watching closely as this story unfolds, and the Lakers have the chance to redefine their legacy with Luka leading the way. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on in what's quickly becoming the most talked about move of the NBA. Off-season speculation is heating up around a blockbuster rumor. Jimmy Butler could be heading to Los Angeles to join forces with none other than LeBron James. While there's no official announcement from either camp, multiple whispers around the league suggest that Butler has either agreed in principle or is on the verge of signing with the Lakers. Is this the next NBA super team in the making? Sources close to this situation hint that the Miami Heat star, long admired for his grit, tenacity, and playoff heroics, has been quietly weighing his options, and Los Angeles has emerged as a serious contender. Butler, who has carried the Heat deep into the playoffs in recent seasons, may be ready for a new chapter alongside a proven winner in LeBron and the bright lights of Hollywood. For the Lakers, still looking to capitalize on the twilight years of James's legendary career, Butler's two-way dominance could be the final piece of the puzzle. The timing of this buzz couldn't be more intriguing, with rumors swirling about LeBron's potential retirement or even a shift in focus toward playing with his son Bronny, adding Butler might just reignite the Kings' championship ambitions. And while no details have surfaced regarding contract figures or trade logistics, insiders are adamant that something is brewing behind the scenes. Of course, this could all be smoke with no fire. NBA free agency is no stranger to wild speculation, but if the Lakers do land Butler, it would send shockwaves through the league and reshape the balance of power in the West. Imagine a defensive duo of Butler and Anthony Davis anchored by LeBron's leadership. Could the purple and gold be on the verge of one more historic run? For now, fans can only wait, refresh their feeds, and wonder, is Jimmy really headed to LA? Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.